Hi, I'm Gregory Paolini, and today I'm going to show you how to tear down and stow your Festool Kapex when it's mounted to the mobile stand. So stick around. Tearing down your Festool Kapex when it's mounted to the mobile stand is pretty straightforward, but there's a few things that folks usually ask me about. Just a couple of little nuances here that you'll want to make sure you get right. So the first thing we're going to do is pull the extension wings off of it. And that's pretty straightforward. We just loosen up the knobs underneath, and I actually rest the extensions on top of the Kapex. It's a work surface for me. It can hold things while I put the boots on the end so that I can take it out of here. There we go. Now, I have to make sure that these stops are pulled in about a foot from the ends, or maybe even midway. We don't want them at the very end, and we don't want the stops flipped forward the way we would actually use them. We want to pull them all the way back out of the way. Then we just lay each extension on top of each other so they nest together, and the fences actually rest onto one another. Now, I've got each end hanging off the Kapex, so that way I can fit the boots over there. And on the boots, there's a long tab here and then an opening. The long tab is what's going to cover the end of the leg and actually keep the leg against the fence when it's in transport. So I'm just going to lay that over there, and I know it's in place when the tab covers the end of the foot. Now you can see that that leg is locked in place. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Roll that down over, and it's covering the leg. And now in order to tighten these up, what I want to do is I'm going to want to be back on the other side again real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the end of this strap and hold here and just pull everything tight. There we go. So now to keep everything from moving when it's in transport, I'm going to take the head and I'm going to lock it down in place by engaging the pivot pin here. That locks the head down. Next, I don't want my carriage to slide fore and aft, so I'm going to lock this tab down here. This knob locks the head, it can't move. And finally, I'm going to bring the miter all the way over to 60 degrees. But you see what's preventing me here is my stop. So my hold fast needs to be removed, brought over onto this side, and I'm just going to bring it down, lock it out of the way. So it's not going to go anywhere. I won't lose it during transport or when I'm simply stowing the Kapex in the side of my garage or wherever I use it. Now I can actually pull the miter all the way to the 60-degree mark. I lock it in place just for extra insurance. All right. Again, I get my foot right down here on the Kapex stand. I don't want this going anywhere on me on the next step. Grab under the cord wrap, lift, pop that handle up, and then finally lower everything in place. Now, it's important that I lock this handle. More than a few times I've actually gone to move the Kapex out of the way, and it doesn't transport real well until I lock that handle. Now it's easy to roll around. The last step is to get the extensions onto the Kapex itself. And the little notches here fit right onto the tube stand, holding it in place. And then these simply slide back and wedge in between the miter lock and the Kapex stand frame. That's it. Now, the things that can go wrong on that last step are if I have the legs oriented the wrong way. For example, if I have this rear leg closer to me and I go and set this in, it doesn't really lock in there. There's not enough clearance right over here. If that happens, I simply rotate it, flip it end for end, drops right into place. The other thing that can happen are if my stops are not positioned properly, they could end up catching on either the Kapex or the frame. If those are out of the way, everything's good. It's locked in place, handle's locked, and I'm done. I'm ready to either load up into the van or stow against the wall of the garage so I can pull a car in here. That's how simple it is to tear down your Festool Kapex when it's mounted on the mobile stand.